Hey guys, so it's been a year since I've got this tank and it's time to do my 1 year review. Let's go. So a quick rundown on this tank. As I mentioned, I have had it for a year and the only fish in it right now are my clownfish and my damsel. There's also some hermit crabs in there and that's basically like the livestock of this tank. And it's done really great for me. As I mentioned, I've had it for a year with pretty much no issues at all. The filtration on this tank is great. I really like this whole integrated filter system back here. I've only really had to clean out the pump a few times. The water flow does slow down after a little bit. That's no big deal. You just take the pump out, clean it out, and you're good to go. I have had a little bit of an algae problem in this tank. There's some algae on the rocks. And after about 4 days of cleaning the glass is covered in algae again. So it's just kind of how it is. I'm not really that worried about it. It's not that big of a deal. I feed these guys Hikari marine food. It's right over there. It's just little small marine pellets. And so far I've found that these two fish just do great in here. They play with each other. They swim around with each other. And my clownfish has a great personality. He's super energetic. He'll like to bury himself in the sand. He'll just kind of lay in the sand. Then as soon as I walk up to the tank, he'll go crazy thinking I'm going to feed him. They eat really well. They love food. That's all these fish care about is food. And basically the equipment I run on this tank is obviously the built-in filtration. And back there I just have the standard little foam and bio rings that came with. I put some Purigen in there to act as like a protein skimmer to help remove some of that organic matter that a protein skimmer in a saltwater tank would. Because this tank is so small, it does not have a protein skimmer. And then I also threw in a little heater back there, which really, the heater doesn't come on that often, I'm going to be honest. The heater kind of just stays like that. It doesn't do anything. It's plugged in, but I found the tank just stays at a perfect 78. No idea why. The LED lighting right up here, it's great so far. I have no corals in this tank, so it's not that big of a deal. I do have a little fake plant over here just to add some color. And that's pretty much like what keeps the tank up and running. There's some live sand down at the bottom, and then my live rock. But that's pretty much it for my 1 year review, I guess. There's a few other things I can touch on, and that's this tank's durability. And obviously, it hasn't leaked in the year. It's completely fine. The only issue that I've really had with this aquarium itself, not anything inside of it, just the actual aquarium itself, is this plastic lid right here. I've actually gone through 3 of them already. This is my 3rd one. I've snapped 2 of them in half. Luckily, Fluval honors this under their warranty. Actually, they didn't at first, but I twisted their leg, and I'm like, this was an expensive tank. It shouldn't snap that easily. The way the second one actually snapped is my 4-pound Chihuahua walked over it while it was on the floor while I was doing a water change, and it snapped. So it's super weak plastic. No clue why. Just weak plastic in general. But other than that, the tank is rock solid. The glass is extremely thin, but I've never had any issues with it. And the filtration, as I mentioned, has worked flawlessly. So overall, I've really enjoyed this little nano saltwater tank. It's super fun to care for, it's super fun to look at, and it's great when everyone comes to your house and sees Nemo. So this 5-gallon tank is the perfect size for my clownfish and my damsel. As I mentioned, I've had 0 issues with it. I really enjoy this tank. If you're looking to start out in the saltwater hobby and you don't have a lot of room, like me, you don't have room for a 55-gallon tank, you don't have room for a 20-gallon, then this Fluval Evo 5-gallon is an amazing tank for the money. I set up this entire tank for I think a little under $200, which really, when you think about it, is not bad. I actually have a YouTube video series that I put up on how I set up this tank, how I do water changes, how I mix the salt water, just stuff like that. I'll go ahead and link that playlist right at the end of this video in a card. So that's, I guess, pretty much it. I'd rate this tank a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I'm taking off 0.5 is because of the cheap lid. I feel like they could have used a little bit better plastic in there, and I feel like it would have done a lot better. Also, it would have been nice if they included a heater in the kit and a thermometer. I did have to put my own heater and my own thermometer in there. But other than that, this is a solid kit, amazing filtration, amazing lighting. I really like how everything came all in a nice one sleek package, and it created a great home for my saltwater fish. that's it for this video. If you have any questions about this tank, leave them down below. If you're looking at getting a tank, as I mentioned, I'd highly recommend this Fluval kit. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.